Hawkeye star Jeremy Renner reveals why he quit his Disney Plus series.
They asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money.
Oh, wow.
Just roll the intro. Imagine playing as one of the most important superheroes in the MCU, only to be told that for your next project, you're only gonna get paid like half of what you made before. And of course, I'm talking about the actor Jeremy Renner who played as Hawkeye. And I get it, okay? Hawkeye as a character, he's not all that, okay? I understand. He's a third tier superhero at best. I mean, he's literally a guy with no superpowers, and literally all he has is a bow and arrow, and that's about it. Now, as someone who actually reads the comics, I'm about to say something that might blow your mind a little bit. There's literally a comic where he joins forces with Sandman, a Spider-Man villain, to fight against Doc Ock, who is also a Spider-Man villain. And that's about it. That's literally all you need to know, because that sounds crazy enough as is. But the point I'm trying to make here is the character, within like the MCU films, right? It's not like they didn't do anything with him. He's actually done a lot, surprisingly. I mean, besides first appearing in like the first Thor movie, which that's okay. That's interesting enough as is. I mean, he's been everywhere for the most part. Like the Avengers movie, obviously. That's kind of a no-brainer. And of course, participating in the final fight against Thanos. I mean, come on, that's already big enough as is. Like, come on. And obviously, I'm specifically talking about today with the Hawkeye TV show that's on Disney Plus. So a second season was planned, and obviously, when they offer, for Jeremy Renner to come back for season 2, he denied it because for some odd reason, they offered to only pay him half of how much he made in the first season. Now, just to reiterate a little bit, well, actually, I probably should put the clip up a little bit for some context, so here you go.
Podcast, what happened when he claims he was offered half his estimated $15 million season 1 salary.
And this is not Marvel, mind you, this is like this Disney, not even really Disney, it's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite.
Disney disputes Jeremy's claims.
I didn't ask for any more money, mind you, right? It's just paid what I made the first season. So it's a little disheartening that didn't happen, but that's fine.
Yeah, so apparently he pretty much turned down the offer because Disney was going to pay him half of what he made from season 1 of Hawkeye. So if we did the math real quick, during the first season, he made around $15 million. So if he were to continue for season 2, he only would have gotten paid at least $7.5 million, which that's kind of weird, in of itself. It's like, okay, he's returning, but he's only going to get paid like literally half. So it's like, what? And mind you, the MCU is still a very successful franchise. Despite all of his flaws and craziness for the past couple of years with some of his films, still, there's literally no reason for why he would only be paid half of what he did before. I mean, it's strange, And obviously, that's not even counting all, the snowplow incident that happened back in January 2023, which he actually, of course, as you saw, he did mention that within the interview. It's like, why? Is it only because he's half a man now? Because he got literally ran over by a 14,000-pound snowplow machine? I mean, I don't want to get off topic or anything, but I think it's very important to talk about this. And I know I probably should have put like a warning disclaimer at the beginning, but don't worry, I won't talk about this for too long. I have to talk about what happened with the incident because even to this day, we're still learning bits and pieces of what happened during that accident. I mean, besides getting crushed, I mean, mind you, he heard his own bones getting crushed. I mean, that's already disturbing as is. I mean, he had 38 broken bones, a collapsed lung. I mean, obviously he got some severe trauma, and I think the worst one for sure, he literally got his left eye dislodged out of his head. Like literally his eyeball was like dangling pretty much, and that it was so far out that his other eye, he can literally see his other eye dangling. So it's like, come on. And even to this very day, he's still recovering from that. So you can only imagine the medical expenses too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there was ever a lawsuit involved with that. I mean, I don't even remember what happened. I'm not sure if he was doing a favor or so, but regardless of what happened, he went through a lot. So, of course, it's going to be a slap in the face. You're going to, he comes back to Hollywood. He's going to play as his character again. He'll need to be paid half of what he did before. And for the most part, I don't think they ever really said why they decided to stick with that decision. Now, I'm assuming that for contract reasons, maybe he can't really say why exactly he's only getting paid half. I don't know if he could get into some legal trouble with that. And I know what you're going to say. I know what everyone's probably thinking. This is why the MCU fell off, right? No, this is not a Marvel Studios situation. No, this was clearly specifically from Disney. This was a Disney accountant who pretty much had made this decision. So I for a company that owns so many franchises, like not just with Marvel, but even Star Wars and all that, you would think that they would have at least a little more respect for their actors, especially with how much money they've made for this company. So it's like, again, it's a huge, ginormous slap in the face. And I think that it's great that he defended himself, where, he's not gonna take this crap from Disney, obviously. And for the most part, I did heard that a sort of similar situation happened with Scarlett Johansson as well. She's the actress that played as Black Widow. I haven't really looked too much into that situation, so I can't really say too much what happened, but all I can really say is that this is a very weird and bizarre pattern with Disney, where it's like, you would think since they have it all, and it's that they get so greedy and they just want more, but that's pretty obvious. But the thing is, though, he was willing to come back as the character. He didn't mind, and mind you, if you ask, most fans, when they watched the first season of Hawkeye, I know some people said that the show ended to where, it was satisfying enough to where he didn't really have to return. But it'd be great if he does. That shows dedication for sure, for the character, I mean, look, if you look at Robert Downey Jr., he was willing to keep playing as Iron Man until they kill his character off, but that's besides the point, So it's really sad, to say the least, and again, I hope that this doesn't happen again. And a small part of me kind of does hope that, Disney would, I don't know, maybe not be stupid and maybe give him proper pay, and hopefully he could come back. Although then again, with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and with plans for the X-Men and all that, it's hard to see where he might fit, but it will still be nice to kind of see him in the future. But then again, only time will tell. So I don't know about you guys. Do you want him to return as Hawkeye? Do you think, was it reasonable for him to turn down the offer or not? I mean, I understand that 7.5 million sounds like a lot, but like I said, especially with the amount of work that he had to put in, especially the character Hawkeye itself, who's very acrobatic, and of course he has to be very hands-on when it comes to how he uses the bow and all that, so there's gotta be like a lot of training involved with that. And like I said, he's basically doing double the work. I mean, technically, logically, your second season should be better than your first. Am I right? I mean, come on, Now, I know that some people have also kind of theorized that maybe the reasoning for this decision, it's because of, they're trying to cut back a little bit to how many shows get premiered. Because I know that they were putting out so many all at once during the beginning of like 2020 and all that, I know they started to kind of slow it down a little bit, and that the shows are going to be made with a little more, like a lower budget and stuff. So, Some people have theorized that maybe that's why, but still, it still seems pretty weird that he's only gonna get paid half. You know, it's like, it does also seem like that they're playing favorites too. So it's like, you know, why is it because Hawkeye isn't that important? Did we forget that he participated in trying to fight Thanos in Endgame? Did we forgot about that already? Like, come on. He literally lost his family from the snap. Like, come on. I don't need to go over this. Endgame came out, like, what was it, 2019? I mean, come on. That's something that I don't need to get too much into. But I think that, you know, we should all understand that it's not only weird, but it just doesn't sound right, and it sounds very, very, very disrespectful towards Jeremy Renners, and I feel sorry, and I feel so bad. But besides that, just want to kind of give out my thoughts there. You know, just kind of thinking about that a little bit. You know, it's just so weird. And yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? That's pretty much it, really. You know, and of course, thank you guys for tuning in as always. You know, I've been trying to get a little bit more into some movie content and stuff bit by bit. I did talk about the Sergeant Rock movie getting canceled, so if you guys want to check that out on the channel, you know, I'll leave a link in the description. And until then, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. That's about it. So see ya.